Morning, October 3rd. How's everybody doing? How are you, Shannon?
Doing really good. I got some self-care time this weekend, so I feel amazing.
Wonderful. How are you, Donna? I hope you're feeling better.
Hey, I'm in bed, so I'm going to be a silent partner today.
Okay. So I've been playing with my new oils, and I've been waiting for the new oils that were released at convention to be downloaded into the Essential Emotions app. But let me grab my book really quick. The Spanish sage, I've been really drawn to using that one. And
It's my favorite. I can't stop using it. I can't stop. I have it in front of me. I carry it with me. I can't stop using it. I love it.
I haven't seen the official Essential Emotions printout of it yet. I think it's coming soon. But what the one gal, what's her name? Desiree de la Luna. She talks to plants and she asks for the messages coming from it. And what she got was that that it brings to you your blocks so that you can get through them. So like it'll remind you of what's going on that you still need to work on so that you can break through it. And I think that that's helping me stay focused. And yeah, it's not like that. It's not like that thing where you're like, well, you better not pray for patience because then you'll get a bunch of things to be patient over. It's not like that. It's more of an energy of, oh, look, there's this pattern. And then it's a recognition. It's easier to recognize. That's what it feels like to me. So I thought that was an interesting point of view that she had. And it made sense for why I'm drawn to using it. Because I love getting aha moments. Who doesn't love going, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good point. Spanish sage. And then something else that came up for me is about resistance and letting go. I was at the Big Bear Yoga Festival this weekend and I taught a couple of classes and let me put myself on spotlight for the recording. So there's a lady that I really like, and she is an energy healer, and she teaches people how to use gongs and big giant Tibetan bowls and any kind of, sound therapy. And the way she speaks kind of just works for me. It's not like that healer, like hippie thing. She's like, sugar, you're holding on to it. So let it go. Like she's just, it's kind of like your favorite waitress at the diner kind of energy. And I appreciate that. I like more of a normal conversation. When it gets to like, well, the spirit and the divine, I'm like, I'm going to call BS on that. Like I kind of need it to be a more normal conversation when it's about me and my body. So she was doing the Tibetan bowl on me to work on clearing my chakras on the massage table. And I have this area in my lower belly that I know that there's something there. So just trying to figure out what is that resistance that I have about letting that go and not being offended by it. When people call us on our stuff, if we get offended, I feel like, okay, now it's time for me to look at my ego. So just there's something I'm contemplating, a little bit, letting that rattle around. And then I was reviewing some pages in the book that I'm getting ready to publish because I'm just trying to catch as many errors as I can. And in step 3, let me just find it for you so I can read it. I'm just really glad that I have this written down just even for myself. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood God. And that means that we're giving, like when things are not in our control, like other people's behavior, other people's opinion of us, that is not in our realm of control. We can only control our behavior. Nobody else's. So I can't hold on to anything like that. So that's another piece of what I was thinking about over the weekend. This is what I wrote about it. I said, this step did wonders for my spirituality. I had a renewed trust in my higher power. I can rely on him or her that there is a path for everyone, and it is not my job to take care of everyone, especially when I want something and it's not working out. I can give it back to my God, and I know that there is something better coming. When someone in my life makes choices I don't agree with, that's okay. I'm not the boss of them. I can let that go and know God has a plan for them too. This, I hope, will be a huge sigh of relief and a source of comfort to you as well. So just rereading that and going, oh yeah, because I have a feeling that I've been building up resentments for people again. And my hair trigger reaction is getting a little faster. I'm like, okay, so clearly this is a me problem. If there's not just one person, if there's several people now on my list that are pissing me off, then I'm wanting to control their behavior, and that's not my job. So I have to look at it and depersonalize that. That's not about me. That's about whatever their thing is. And so I'm fine with that. So the oils I caught, oh, Donna sent me a text.
Hey, Kim, I just,
Oh, you've got the new book. You've got the
Yeah.
new book. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
do.
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying, I just sent you the page with the Spanish sage on it.
Thank you so much. So the oils I chose this morning for myself were frankincense and aroma touch. And just the last several days, I've been drawn to using those. So when I get out of the shower or I wake up in the morning, I take my fractionated coconut oil or my doTERRA lotion, and I take like 5 drops of aroma touch, and I'm just smearing it like all over my neck, all over my back. At night, I'll do my feet and my legs for circulation and helping my feet from, standing all day. And that's feeling really supportive. And I've been putting the frankincense in my armpits because of cellular health. So just working on making sure we're keeping everybody in check. I was going to look up the word resistance in my essential emotions book. And I want to just see what oil, like if we follow the essential emotions protocol on how you would do this for someone, is if someone comes to you and tells them like, I don't know what it is, you say, well, what word comes to mind that you think you're feeling? And for me, it's resistance. They might say something else. You would start with that word, and then you'd follow it down the rabbit hole in the book to what oil and what phrase of words is gonna work. So I'm gonna look in the emotion section. Let me get to RQRS. Resilient, resisting. Okay. Vetiver, deep blue, spikenard, digescent. So when I read out the list of what oils, it's kind of in my mind of which one pops up to me. And that's going to be like muscle testing. That's how I do it. Just whichever one popped up to me. Vetiver, deep blue, spikenard, digescent, fennel, whisper, and a mauve.
Kim, they've added guacwood.
Ooh, the new wood, eh? It kind of smells like sweet potatoes and bacon to me. Does anyone else have when they smell it? Does it smell like food? Where is that wood?
Cardamom. Cardamom smells like bread, like rye bread to me.
Morning. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, it's 12:30 because my job has me doing like chatting now, so I don't have to actually be on the phone all the time. And I
Mhm.
was looking for a podcast to listen to. I'm like, wait, the class is right now, so let me just listen to that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I just pulled out the Guaiacwood. It just smells like pure sweet potatoes to me this morning.
Smells like carne asada to me.
It does?
The first time I smelled it, and my friend's daughters said, I mean, they live in another state. Mom, this smells like barbecue chicken. So it does smell like food.
Yeah. But when I opened the bottle first, I thought bacon, but right now I'm not smelling the bacon. So it must be like pheromone dependent on what you're going to pick up or what your memory bank in your olfactory tells you. I'm going to go with the Guaiacwood. And then let me see if I can, it said go back to defensive. So let me go to defensive and see what it says about that. Did you guys know that the official Essential Emotions coach training is starting? I think it starts today, actually.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, so this is the beta group. It's the very first of the training. Like if you wanted to be an official Essential Emotions coach.
I do. I would love that.
It's on, it's on the essential, if you type in essentialemotions.com/coach// wait, let me put it in the chat. I will put it in the chat. Essentialemotions.com/ so that
So
way,
like
make
yeah,
sure the link works. Let me know, guys.
I'll let you know.
And then if it doesn't, then I'll find the correct one. So let me see what defensive says. Should probably be using the app, it'd be faster. Defeated, defenseless, defensive. For defensive, oregano, ylang ylang, geranium, holiday joy, midnight forest. I kind of was feeling oregano. And then the look deeper questions, this is what I would be contemplating and journaling about for defensive. What am I protecting myself from? What will it take for me to process the harm I've experienced in the past? Okay, so I'm going to journal about it. I'm probably going to be using that oregano and Guaiacwood. So it's going to be smelling delicious in here. And then you say out loud. So I would take the oil itself. If you're sitting in front of somebody that's new to the oils or you're helping them process an emotion with the oils, like in a coaching session, you would take the oil and have them put it in their hand. And you're going to rub the hands together. And then I suggest standing up because when you stand up and your feet are on the ground, you're more grounded. And you're going to breathe in 4 deep breaths. And then I recommend people circle their hips. Because in the hips is where our emotions are stuck. That's like the emotional gateway for releasing them. So I'm breathing it in. And then the words of affirmation, and you want to say it in your own voice because your particular voice is the exact frequency for releasing that emotion. So it's like the perfect radio station for you to release it. I am now perfectly supported in every moment. I am now open to trusting that I am safe to be me. That does feel perfect for me today. I like it.
Kim, the Guaiacwood is specifically targeted for denial or avoiding.
I need the new book. I'm so jelly.
I just sent you that too.
Okay. So for Guaiacwood, it's self-discovery. Guaiacwood is a unique healer distilled from the heartwood of the tree. It creates a resonance with the heart of each person who experiences it. This oil connects to their innermost thoughts and feelings and reveals obscured spiritual and emotional blockages. Just as the resin-like oil must be warmed before it can transform into a pourable liquid, Guaiacwood encourages individuals to yield in order to reopen doors that have long been closed within them. It facilitates the specific healing they need by only bringing issues to the surface that the heart is ready to release. The aroma of Guaiacwood morphs based on what the individual needs in that moment, mirroring the intuitive nature of this essential oil and how it adapted to meet the individual where they are now. It is especially beneficial when individuals are feeling overwhelmed. Thank you. Confused, or they've lost a part of themselves somehow. It helps them see that they are known, understood, and worthy of healing. Aw, well, I like it. I love the Guaiacwood. I'm going to be using it today. I'll read Spanish Sage really quick. Thank you, Donna, for helping me with the new pages. Spanish Sage is an ally when navigating memory and cognitive challenges. Memories are emotional and therefore difficulty accessing or recalling a memory can be deeply troubling. Hold on, let me grab my glasses. Likewise, decreased cognitive ability can contribute to negative self-evaluation and lower self-esteem. Spanish Sage has calming, sedative-like qualities. It's soothing and reassuring when individuals are feeling upset or embarrassed with their fluctuating abilities. It teaches individuals that their self-worth is not dependent upon their capacity to perform. Oh God, I just realized my self-esteem is totally wrapped up in performance. Okay, well, I'm gonna let that go.
Oh, yes.
I do have a quick question, Kim. I was meeting with someone yesterday and I was taking your advice. And the main thing that came up for her was depression. At the time, I only had the app. And I was so surprised that depression wasn't there. So I looked up sadness. But I'm curious with the book, do you see depression listed? Or what would be the synonym in your opinion?
Probably like, let me think of that. The reason they didn't put depression is because of the FDA. That's a diagnosis.
Okay.
So that it's to us, it's kind of a more normalized word, but I think that's probably why. Because they don't want to get in trouble.
Okay. Because I guess maybe they put anxious. They didn't put anxiety because, anxious was there. But I do understand that. So I looked up sadness and I figured maybe that was the closest. And I guess when you have something like that, if someone says depression, maybe we can ask more questions to get to the emotion.
I think you're right. Yeah. I would think lethargic or
despondent, despairing are listed, hopeless, disconnected emotionally, disconnected mentally, and disconnected physically and spiritually.
Oh, those are all listed?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for
I'm
sharing.
looking at the new book, so I'm not comparing.
If you have, so if you go to Carla McClellan's website, she has a free printout for the emotional vocabulary list. I got this one printed for me because I bought her cards. But there's a whole like synonym list for all the different emotions. So if I look under sadness, grief, and depression, there's contemplative, disappointed, disconnected, distracted, listless, low, regretful, steady, wistful, dejected, discouraged, down, drained. There's a whole
That's super helpful. So I can kind of, ask for more, see which one of those words So thank you so much for even giving us that technique, because that way it's very duplicatable, the way I'm able to support people like the same way, getting the app out and even helping them to be self-sufficient for their self-care. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. There's also a in the back of the Essential Emotions book, there's a feelings chart. And that's kind of like a little bit like for if you're connected to emojis. I guess a lot of like child psychologists will use this for kids that don't understand feelings. Which I think as of 2 years ago, I could not identify what I was feeling. I only had like two modes: high joy, or like where I come down into complete overwhelm, and then like despondent. Like I wouldn't be able to tell you what spectrum and pick it apart. So having people understand and look and really feel, it is like learning a new language. It's just not taught, you know. I'm trying really hard to learn it myself and then teach it to my kids, you know, so that they don't become, you know, like I did. Well, I have a friend that would say this to me. She said, I'm raising my daughter so that when she's 35, she's happy. I'm like, oh, that is adorable. And this was before I turned 35. I think I was like 30, 32. And I thought to myself, I hope I'm happy when I'm 35. And I am happy now that I'm 35. So anyway, so I'm open for feedback. And if you have a comment or something that you'd like to share, this is a safe space for you to do that.
I'll share.
Sure.
I've been feeling like really in like a funk for like the past 2 weeks. And it goes in like a blink of an eye. Like I'll do good, like I'll be working out and doing all these things and being able to help people and doing my self-care, and then it takes one slip. And in like a blink of an eye, I'm like, how did I get here? And then it takes me forever to pull myself. It's like it's easier to stay in this spot for me than where I'm at now versus the opposite, which is the self-care and the healing. And you know what I'm trying to say? So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Everyone does that. Does that make you feel better? It's not just
I just don't want to be like everybody else.
I know. So, would you like my feedback?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Sure.
Yeah. So the way that we were taught is normal. It starts the first 18 years that we're alive. So like the way that your parents were, the way that your family was, and that was normal and how to live your life. We're all like fighting against that as adults because we don't want that as our normal, or it just depends on the person, I guess. Maybe they do. But when we try to make a change, your brain is still going to be thinking about what feels normal, and it isn't what you've been doing. So like when you feel like, oh, I'm doing really well, and there's still this default mechanism in all of us that says, but that's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's harder to get to the place. And also I'm hearing that you feel like ashamed. Is that true? That you can't stay in the expectation of what you think is healthy?
Yeah, I guess ashamed would be a good word, and frustrated and disappointed and annoyed with myself, and sometimes even questioning like what am I here? Like not in a suicidal way, but
Yeah.
just like not feeling like a little empty because, and you know, I could speak positively, of course, but you know, I could probably say, well, me being a mother is enough. But I don't really feel that way. I don't know what I'm even expecting of myself, honestly. Like, what do I need to accomplish to feel good? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, who am I really trying to impress? Are
Yeah.
some of the questions I would ask. Why can't I just be content with what I have? Why do I need so many other things? Is another question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that you would love that Carla McClellan, her book. It's called Essential Emotions. Oh no, it's called The Language of Emotions.
I know I'm doing I'm gonna be doing something with Shannon. It's a book she introduced me to. It's like going through a healing process.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might do me some good as well, in addition to. And I really think with the essential oil, because another thing that can kind of add to stress in general for people is when you got too much going on. And I know, like, for me, it's like I'm trying to do so many things at once and not having to focus. Like, for example, business wise, I really wanted to get involved in doTERRA business, right? But then I'm also trying to do my own thing on the side. So, like, I feel like my body's trying to say, tune into something, focus in on something, educate yourself fully, commit yourself to that. And maybe you will find your head isn't all over the place. So yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
it totally does. That's like the inner workings of our brain and I'm really proud of you for being able to voice the thought stream that kind of terrorizes us every day.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I get this done? Or, I want to be able to accomplish this and I want to have this. And what's helped me is if I start putting myself down for how I feel, it's called self-abandonment. When we don't completely love who we are, and accept, like, oh, I'm feeling disappointed. In the old Kim, or the Kim from yesterday, even catches myself feeling ashamed of feeling disappointed, or I'm ashamed of feeling angry. I'm not really letting myself feel my feelings, and I'm abandoning myself. So I have to, like, go, oh yeah, I am feeling my feelings. Like, what's going on with me right now? Oh, there's this really great chart. It's also on that woman's website, the Carla McClellan.
Can you put that in the chat, Kim?
Yes, it's in the chat.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just typed it in. So there's this chart that I got from her, and you can download it. So it tells you what your feelings mean and what are the action steps. So you know how they'll say, oh, well, you just need to feel your feelings. And you're like, I don't know how to do it. Or I
Right.
don't want to. So like for, let's see, which works for what you're talking about. It's a bit of grief what you're saying, because it's like, oh well, I didn't do what I wanted to do. And so like you're able to maintain this period of time of like, oh, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and then something happens and you kind of need to close for, they call it closing for repairs. So I've closed for repairs right now. And maybe in that space, you're kind of grieving who you wanted to be wasn't who you are. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
There's a grieving process that says the deep river of the soul, mourning, release, lamentation, complete immersion in the river of all souls. What must be mourned? What must be released completely? And then it says grief appears when a death has occurred, either a physical death or the death of an idea, a relationship, or something deeply important to you. When grief appears, stop, drop everything, and ask your internal questions. When the river of souls takes your weight unto itself, you can release that which has died into the next world so that you may live more fully in this one. Maybe it's like, let let die what these expectations you have of yourself that, oh, I'm gonna do everything in each day.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, if I'll give myself a little list of what I'd like to get done, like my wish list. The most important things go at the top. And if I've finished those like 2 or 3 things, then I have to release myself to be present the rest of the day. And then you can use the oils to help you do that.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And you can always say, no, I don't really get it, Kim. It doesn't help. I go,
No,
well,
see a therapist.
yeah, I'm like, well, I don't know. I do appreciate you sharing and being open, because that is showing up for yourself, you know.
Yeah, thanks, Kim.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Um, that like warms my heart. Thank you, Candace.
Yeah, that gotcha.
So I'm gonna be using my Spanish sage today. I really liked what it said about that guaiacwood, where it helps you process your feelings for what your heart is ready for.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Spanish sage was more of like helping you be aware of some patterns. So those are good.
That's interesting how the oils can, chemically have that chemical effect to make
Yeah.
you, right?
There's all this scientific evidence of what things do, plants, but then there's this hippie side of like people that talk to the plants, and the plants are like, this is what I'm here for in this generation, in this crazy 2022. So it's kind of fun for me. It doesn't work for every crowd, but I think for this one it does.
So Kim, are you actually thriving within the doTERRA business?
Yeah, I've done this as my full-time job for 12 years.
Look at you go. Wow.
Yeah. I still have my own disappointments and my own goals, and even though I'm in a place where a lot of people wish they were, like I'm living, I built a pool this summer that's paid for with doTERRA money. um you know this is what I do for work, and I support my family. So um yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm excited about
Congratulations.
thank you, the coaching thing.
It works.
It does work, and I feel like it's an easier way to connect with people, because the way I built my business was using the essential oils for physical ailments, like, oh, let's look up diabetes, let's look up this, let's look up that. But it felt more authentic to me to work with people's emotions. It's more holistic. So if you're looking to grow your business in a way that's not going to deplete you and make you feel like, well, I can't do this, I think it's an easier route to go with the emotions.
I noticed that a lot of low income communities don't have accessibility to organic cleaning. Like, Myers is like expensive. And
Yeah.
I had created a blend and took a whole entrepreneurship course and stuff. And I'm like, man, what if I just go nonprofit, try to connect with doTERRA, try to see if they could support me in getting these things out via Helping Hands or something like that.
I think
So
that's smart.
I'm like, why am I working so hard when doTERRA has all the tools? Duh.
The wheel is already made for you.
What the heck?
It's all made.
And Alicia Spivey is a good one too. You know her?
No, I don't.
Alicia Spivey.
Does she have a website?
Yeah, she teaches people how to make money with income, and she's like very, very popular. She's supposedly like a big deal.
He's the one that does like the mentor calls for doTERRA. You know that the mentor calls and you know.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't listened to him, but I think it's tonight that is the Meta Power like 90-day challenge, like how to use that as a launching for your business.
It is tonight.
Really?
Yeah. It is tonight.
So I can send it to you if you guys want. But yeah. So on Wednesdays is the Meta Power support accountability group. So it's the same time, 9:30 PST, 12:30 EST. So that's where we can kind of talk about like using those products and how it's supporting your health and the benefits. And you're able to invite your people that want to come and listen, and they'll hear our testimonies. And I want to make sure that it's also just like this, a safe space for people to talk about releasing emotions that are connected to moving forward in their health.
Yeah.
Did Dina do her talk last week?
What'd you say?
Did Dina do her talk last week?
She's gonna do another one tomorrow. So I'll
Okay.
send you the link to it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think I can probably get her to come on Wednesday to come and talk, because she's a functional medicine nurse, and a lot of her protocols are about insulin resistance anyway. So it kind of like ties in perfectly with the MetaPower system and helping to support our metabolic health and keeping our blood sugars even, so that we don't get those big spikes that cause cellular death, and it's bad for our health. So
If she does speak Wednesday, will it be recorded?
that's a good point, because last week I was feeling like maybe people don't want this recorded, because a lot of talk about changing food habits, it can be like really vulnerable, and I don't want to make people feel like I'm putting them on blast. So I'll talk to Dina about it. If Dina does talk, it probably won't be an open share.
Okay. I like that it was recorded, because I couldn't catch it on live, and I won't be able to this week either. So
I'll probably ask people's permission. But I do want them to feel like they can share in what's really on their heart, just specifically because like my family, we all had like really disordered eating, and it's very vulnerable and scary to talk about food. So, and I think that's probably true for most people. Well, you guys, let's all take a breath real fast. And I just want to honor that you're here, and I'm here, and this is a great Monday morning thing. So let's take a breath in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day.
You too.
You do the same.
I will. Bye, guys.
Bye.